You might be a bit too young for me.
Hey, how old are you today?
When a woman asks how old are you, most men think it's an innocent question, but it's not. It's a test, and most guys fail it instantly. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the 3 different ways to handle this line by line with clips from real life examples from me and my clients. So whether you're a younger guy or an older guy, you'll always know exactly what to say when a girl asks your age. Like my client Todd, who's 54 and went on 20 dates in a single month thanks to the techniques I'll be sharing in this video. So if you want to get insane results like Todd and hundreds of my other clients, click the first link in the description and make sure you watch till the end. Starting with the first and most important thing to understand, and that is women don't actually care about your age. They care about how you make them feel. Most guys get self-conscious and start justifying themselves when a woman asks their age by saying, "Oh, I know I'm a bit older, but I feel young," or "Yeah, I'm still young, but you know, I'm mature for my age." If you do this, it's just game over. You've instantly lost the frame because you're explaining yourself to her, which means you've made her the judge. And again, she doesn't care about the number, she cares about the feeling and vibe that you give her. Women are emotional while men are logical. This is why girls love things like astrology, meanwhile guys think it's stupid. It's because these things make women feel something. Now there's a big caveat because age is not simply a number, it is a feeling. You can be a 35-year-old who's energetically 25 years old. You're in shape, you make good money, you have an active and busy lifestyle, an abundant social life, you're still hip and you know how to present yourself the right way, you dress in a way that's modern and on trend, and you have youthful energy. On the other hand, you can be a 35-year-old who's energetically 55. The same boring routine that's uninteresting and uninspiring, out of shape, chronically tired, and a boring lifestyle that women would be turned off by. And if you think I'm exaggerating, I've literally had clients join my program who are in their 30s who are still dressing like it's 2016, just totally unplugged and unaware of modern culture. It may sound superficial, but the 35-year-old who has a modern wardrobe, knows at least 2 Drake songs, and has an up-to-date Instagram profile is gonna be more competitive because he has everything the younger guy has, plus years of experience and confidence that's compounded over time. You can be older than her by the numbers, but you can't be socially unaware or disconnected from her. If you only know songs from the 80s and you still dress like it's the 80s, then she's gonna feel like you're an old guy. And that's what a woman is really asking when she asks your age. She doesn't want to know, are you 35 years old? She wants to know what kind of 35-year-old you are, because there's a huge difference. Now, to highlight this, here's an example of how a woman who initially gives me an age objection can change her mind within 5 seconds by simply saying the right thing and making her focus on how she feels around you, not your numerical age.
I'm not sure how old you are.
26.
You might be a bit too young for me.
You think so?
Now, in this clip from a few years ago now, I was still quite younger, I approach a woman who's visibly older than me, at least 5 or 10 years. And notice how she phrases her objection around my age. She doesn't say, "You're too young for me." She says, "You might be too young for me," which means that she's still open to being convinced otherwise, or that she's unsure if her concern is real. Women speak the language of subtlety, and those small word choices make a big difference on whether or not she's open to continuing the conversation.
Yeah.
What makes you say that? A bit too young to exchange Instagrams and perhaps
No, that's fine.
meet up and go out sometime here or in New York? if the
Sure,
stars align?
I'm open to that, yeah.
The truth is that sometimes a woman might feel like the number associated with your age is too big of a gap, whether older or younger. But the truth is, if you can frame it in a way that's just not a big deal, then she's more likely to think it's not a big deal. I mean, just look at how I respond to her. I just said, too young to exchange Instagrams and perhaps go out sometime here or next time I'm in town. I completely lowered the stakes. I lowered all pressure associated with her dating someone who may be a little bit younger from her, and I just made it seem like something normal and natural and easygoing, because that's what a first date is supposed to be like: fun, playful, easygoing. And even though she might have some objection or have uncertainty around whether or not she wants to date someone my age, she doesn't need to think that far ahead yet. All we really need her to agree to is to be open to seeing us again, because when she sees us again, we can develop a stronger connection, and she can see for herself that the age is not really that big of a deal. And notice how by me simply framing it in a low pressure way and not making a big deal out of it, she instantly says, sure, I'm open to that, and enthusiastically gives me her number and makes sure that she has mine. And again, I'm not being overly aggressive or pushy. I'm simply reframing her objection in a way that seems more acceptable to her. But you also want to pay close attention and notice what I did not do. And that is the most common mistake where 99% of guys mess up, and that is qualifying themselves. They treat the girl's question too literally. She asks, "How old are you?" And they instantly panic and start trying to qualify and explain themselves to the girl. They'll laugh nervously and say something like, 37, but I still feel young though, I promise. The problem with this is that you're basically just begging for her approval. What you're really communicating to her when you say this kind of stuff is, "I think my age is a problem, do you?" You're positioning yourself as if you need her approval to be desirable. And the irony is that that's exactly what's killing all potential for attraction. When you respond like that, you sound like every other nice guy who's terrified of saying the wrong thing and can't just fucking own and go for what he wants. Again, notice in my prior example, I just owned my intention. I said, "Well, really? You think so? You think I'm too young to simply exchange numbers and go out sometime?" When you frame it like that, it's hard to say no, because at the end of the day, the confidence you have in your interactions comes down to one thing. Are you totally comfortable and confident with who you are and going after what you want? Or are you secretly ashamed of it? Most men fail this test not because of their age, but because of their response. They've been conditioned to believe that because they're a little older or a little younger, that means the girl is going to see them as having less value. When in reality, if you know how to carry yourself, your age can be one of your biggest assets. A younger guy trying to date an older woman can make a woman feel young again. He can make her feel desired. He can make her feel like she's getting the attention she used to when she was younger. On the other hand, if you're an older guy, women can be attracted to certain characteristics that you have by virtue of your older age. Things like leadership, confidence, a better lifestyle, and more stability than guys who are the same age as her. With this in mind, a slight age gap should make you feel more confident, not less. You simply have to own it. And especially if you're an older guy, a lot of times girls are going to prefer you if they feel like they can vibe and have fun with you over a guy their own age who's boring and has conversations that feel like interviews.
And by the way, if you're an older, successful guy who's looking to master the skill of meeting women in person and learning how to build magnetic attraction with women, then click the first link in the description and book a call to work with me personally inside my private coaching program.
Now, the important thing to remember is to keep things emotional and fun. And when you're put in the situation when a woman inevitably asks you your age, here are the 3 ways that you can address it. Number 1, you can use playful exaggeration. This is the simplest way to respond, but also one of the most effective. Here's an example of me doing it in action.
How old are you?
Can you guess?
Around my age or so?
37.
You're lying.
I might have better genetics than you.
No way.
Yeah.
You look so good.
I'm kidding.
Really?
Yeah. I'm 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm impressed too.
What, you thought you're calling me old?
No.
You guess how old I am?
Well, you said 2 years in LA.
And you said that you work. I'd say 24.
47.
Okay.
You don't believe me?
I don't believe you at all.
She looked like she got scared and like, I don't believe. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
28.
You're 28.
So in this example, I playfully exaggerate and tell a girl I'm significantly older than I am, and look, I tell her I'm 37. Now, notice how when I say this, the entire frame of the conversation shifts and becomes a lot funnier. The reason for this is because it becomes unpredictable. Rather than following the boring old question answer style, the conversation instantly pivots and you see her start to invest more in the conversation. And she goes as far as to compliment me. By responding with humor like this, not only do you downplay and make the combo about your age a lot more playful and relaxed, but you also show a high level of social awareness, because if you're a little bit younger or a little bit older, but you say a ridiculous age, it lets the girl get to know you, your sense of humor, your vibe, and your overall energy. Whereas the boring old guy would never think to make a joke like that, or the self-conscious old guy would never think to make a joke like that. But when you take the risk and are willing to be funny, it shows that you're actually totally comfortable, because you're comfortable getting a negative reaction. And ironically, this is why girls are attracted to men who are funny and have a sense of humor, because every time you make a joke, you're taking a little conversational risk. Maybe the joke doesn't land, maybe she doesn't think it's funny, and the guy who is consistently funny and can make a girl laugh, he's so comfortable and confident with himself that he's willing to take those conversational risks every single day. And when you really break it down that way, women aren't so much attracted to the fact that you're funny, yes, they like it, but because a guy who's funny is also a guy who happens to be confident. And I mean, without going on a long tangent here, just think about what a stand-up comedian does. They stand up in front of a room and they say stuff hoping to get a certain reaction. And every time they take a risk and make a joke, they can get a bad reaction, it can fall flat, or the worst thing is they can get complete silence as the joke goes over the listener's head. But that balls and willingness to potentially say the wrong thing when making a joke is a form of confidence, and that's why women are so attracted to it. And that's why when a girl says, oh, I like guys who are funny, she doesn't mean she needs you to be a stand-up comedian. What she really means is I like a guy who's confident and willing to own himself and express himself in the way that he wants. Because it may sound corny to you, but nothing takes more balls than simply being yourself, owning it, and communicating it with every single person that you see. And if you're struggling with approach anxiety and you can't simply go up and tell an attractive girl, hi, I saw you, I wanted to come meet you, what's your name? Then you are not as confident as you think you are. And you are not even capable of being yourself and acting on your own desires. Now, if you're an older guy watching this and you're thinking to yourself, okay, Benjamin, it's funny when you say that you're 37, but I'm way older than 37. It's not going to be so funny if I do the same thing. Don't worry, this technique still works if you're older. Just take a look at how my 54-year-old client Todd used it.
By the way, it's my birthday today.
Really? Happy
It is,
birthday.
yeah.
How old are you today?
I just turned 25. No, I'm
Of
kidding.
course.
No, I'm 54 today.
Wow.
So yeah, but yeah. So what's your IG? I'll follow you and I'll definitely invite you.
Now, I want you to pay attention to something important here in this example. My client Todd is very obviously older, and women can tell by his gray and white hair. However, he made it all the way to the end of this cold approach interaction with a stranger off of the street, and she didn't even think to ask his age until he mentioned the fact that it was his birthday. And this was at the end of the conversation when she had already agreed to give him her contact info. What does that tell you? And if you can't tell just by her voice and her energy, this woman is meaningfully younger than him. But the reason she entertained his conversation and gave him her number, despite a meaningful age gap, is because his vibe, energy, and conversational skills throughout the interaction were so good that she didn't even think for his age to be an issue. And the cherry on top was him to feel so comfortable and confident about it that he was willing to make a joke before telling her his real age. And again, as you can see, even when he told her, she still gave him her number with zero hesitation. Now, using playful exaggerations are the first way to respond when a woman asks you your age, but the second best way that I personally love is to simply make her guess.
How old are you?
Can you guess?
21. 23.
You're closer.
25.
Close. 26.
Okay. Wait, so you look really young.
I have a youthful energy, I guess.
So notice how in these examples, when I make the girl guess, it kind of creates a fun, playful dynamic. It immediately gets them more engaged because now they don't want to guess incorrectly and they're unsure if they'll be right. The best part about this is that it forces them to invest in the conversation. Rather than just listening to you talk about yourself, she's forced to ask you questions and learn more about you. And once she starts doing that, she'll subconsciously start to ask follow-up questions. And before you know it, she's the one investing and chasing you in the interaction. Another good thing about making a girl guess, whether it's your age or anything else in conversation, is that it gives you more material and conversation to go back and forth over. If she guesses a really old age, I can pretend to be offended. If she guesses a really young age, I can make a joke about that as well. It just allows the conversation to be more spontaneous, unpredictable, and dynamic, all of which is going to make her more engaged and invested, and also just make her have a better time in the interaction, which is going to make her more likely to give you the phone number. Now, the third way to address the age question is one of the more obvious, but also the most powerful. When she drops the question, all you have to do is unapologetically own it. Just stay grounded, calm, and say your age confidently, like it's not a big deal. A woman will instantly gain 10 times more respect for you if you can own your age proudly. Why? Because women are tired of dealing with guys who are pretenders, and it goes back to what I was saying before. Guys ask me all the time, how can I improve my charisma? How can I improve my vibe and my aura when I'm around women? And the truth is, you have to be totally comfortable with who you are as a man and going after it unapologetically. Because the truth is, simply being a normal human being will get you a lot further in your dating life than trying to pretend to be someone you're not. But the most important thing is that you need to consistently put yourself out there, whether it's in person or on apps. And you have to know how to put yourself out there in the right way, because dating is the most competitive game out there. Now, if you're an older, successful guy, tired of feeling like your age is working against you, click the first link in the description and apply to work with me, and I'll show you exactly how my clients in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s are consistently dating 9s and 10s. Not despite their age, but because of it. And inside my program, program, I'll work with you one-on-one and give you the same exact system my client Todd used to land 20 dates in a single month. We'll show you the exact profile template we built out for Todd from scratch for his Instagram and his dating profiles, and exactly how we helped him get out there and meet women in person. So click the link below and check it out. And if you want to see an example of how I took out a 54-year-old client and got him successful approaches on the streets here in Manhattan, click here to watch this video.